we are finally to the championship rounds. And thank the Lord, Dallas got eliminated. It's been one heck of a season. That's all I gotta say. On with the show.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What is poppin', y'all? It is the man, Clapboy Bells. Welcome to another episode of Whistle Sports Weekly Wednesday Predictions Championship Round. It's the conference championship round. I can't believe we are almost to the end of the season. Obviously, we have 3 more games left, and it's crazy that, this has been one heck of a crazy season. Lots of unexpected things to happen, and who knows what can happen in 3 more games. So that's all I'm going to say. Thankfully, not much. Normally I have to go over a bunch of games. Thankfully, it's only 2 this time. So shouldn't be as long as normally is. But, of course, if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and as always, let's get down to business right away. So, first off, for the NFC Championship game, we have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'll just talk about their matchups. San Francisco played a very close game against the Dallas Cowboys, but ended up pulling away. Dallas embarrassed themselves once again on a very questionable final play to end the game. I don't know who, in their wildest mind, thought that Zeke snapping the ball was to a Dak by himself in the backfield with no protection was a great idea. And yeah, that was just a bad thing. And San Francisco barely got through the win. This is the first time where I actually thought we saw San Francisco struggle a little bit, which is interesting because, they looked like the hottest team, but now they faced a team that actually is legitimately, has played good to competition, so crazy enough just to say it. Looking at the Philadelphia Eagles, a lot of people actually thought the Giants were going to beat them. And I did say, if there was a game that was to be an upset, it was going to be the Giants, but I just don't think they're strong enough. Philly is just loaded at every single aspect, and they took that to advantage. Jalen Hurts got some time to heal up, and he looked dominant. He just could not be stopped. The Giants literally had nothing they could do to contain him. And Philly looks like they're the dominant team that they were all year. Of course, everyone says that Philly had a cupcake record schedule and really is overrated. But honestly, if this team is overrated, they're really playing well against competition. I think that's what's super important. San Francisco 49ers, on the other hand, they started the year out, they looked fraudulent, and now they've been so dominant with Brock Purdy. This is the first time we've actually seen him struggle in a game. When I look at this and look at these 2 teams, both could really be. This was a very tough one for me to decide, because I was like, are the Philadelphia Eagles fraudulent? Because I've seen a lot of things that I know they can be, but San Francisco, on the other hand, I've always seemed to pick them for some reason, but this is the first time I saw them struggle, and honestly, I thought they'd do a lot better against Dallas, but this is the first time I saw that San Francisco didn't look as dominant as they did before. This is a very interesting matchup because it's the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed going at it. And if I was to be honest, I am not sure what should happen, but if I had to pick between these 2 teams, I say this will be a 1-score game in the end. I say, even though I do find this team a little overrated sometimes, I do believe the Philadelphia Eagles will be advancing to the Super Bowl. This is another thing to keep in mind. No rookie quarterback has ever taken their team to their Super Bowl in first time. No rookie quarterback has ever done that. So that's one thing to keep in mind. you know, I give credit to Brock Purdy for everything he's done, but when it comes to trying to, I just don't see. I think Philly is just going to come out swinging, and they're going to get this victory. Yeah, so I'm going to say it's Philly will be the NFC champs. All right, AFC Championship game. Right after, we got the AFC Championship game. It will be a rematch from last year's. It will be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, Cincinnati fans are mad because they felt like it's very unfair that Cincinnati ended up being, since Cincinnati beat Buffalo and Cincinnati were going to play, and they would have been a neutral site because of all fairness. But for some reason, it just didn't work for Cincinnati, so they still have to play in Arrowhead Stadium, unfortunately. So Cincinnati has beaten the Kansas City Chiefs the last 3 times. And everyone, I always sit there and think, at Kansas City, they're always going to be dominant. This time they'll beat them. But Travis Kelce's getting older by the minute. You don't have Tyreek Hill. You just have a bunch of mid-receivers. And pretty much, if the Bengals have been able to stop Kansas City all these times, I don't know. Kansas City is favored to win this game. But for the looks of it, I was just looking at it. I'm like, this is just so tough. Like, I don't know who to pick here. But looking at it, I'm like, clearly, if Cincinnati knows how to beat this team, then of course I gotta go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, the kitty does go and meow when it comes to facing the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been dominant all year, but you don't have Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce is getting older, and last time Cincinnati played against them, Travis Kelce was held into check, so that's one thing. Last 2 times, actually. And then 3, Patrick Mahomes' injury last week. If he was healthy, I actually would have probably picked the Chiefs, but since Mahomes is dealing with some ankle injury that he suffered last week, he's not going to be 100%. So, pretty much, when you look at these 2 games, when you look at these 2 teams, Cincinnati is motivated as ever to go in there and get a win. Cincinnati, a lot of people were like, oh, everyone's siding on DeMar Hamlin. That's what everyone's saying, oh, Buffalo's going to win for him. And Cincinnati just went in there, all calm, all poised, and you see what I mean? Cincinnati looked ready. They looked dominant. And then you look at Kansas City. They look calm and collected. They haven't really faced anything tough. Their last loss was against the Bengals this year. So, if I had to pick, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. So, like I said, obviously if the Chiefs win, it wouldn't surprise me because it's the Chiefs, but I say the Cincinnati Bengals are going to get this done. So, that's that. I believe the Super Bowl matchup this year will be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, I probably might be wrong because anything can happen. So, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a wild ride. So, anyways, if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, do whatever. And as always, we will see you in 2 more weeks as we finish up the season finale of Weekly Wednesday Predictions. Of course, enjoy yourself. Obviously, the last Sunday of doubleheader games, and then we got the Super Bowl. So, crazy how fast the season went this year. That's all I gotta say. So, anyways, if you like what you see, comment below, subscribe, and always, and we'll see you next time.